I work with a small chorus all the time. Because in one rehearsal we had 11, I think. And that's half, about half of what we would normally have. And we just sounded the same. And I was so impressed by that we could be half of our normal size and sound the same. And I think part of that is that we all make we have the same approach, the same vocal approach. We don't take our individual voice and just say, oh, well, whatever comes out is what you get, And that's kind of typical with most choruses. We just say, well, whatever comes out is what you get. And yeah, I'll try and make the right word sound, and I'll try and sing the right note, but beyond that, no. So I think if we make sure that, and we've been working with it, and I know you're probably going to have Deborah out here doing some stuff, and we've been working on having that same approach all the time. And I'm fine with you not being on the risers. I'm fine with you standing down if it's warmer up there and you want to stand down on the floor for a little bit while we go through this. That's fine. I'm used to that because we don't use risers in my group. So what I want to do is I brought my speaker system here. Let's see if it's working. And that looks like wait, hold on. Okay, that's not so good. Hold on. Just have to be smarter than it says connected. Connected device settings. Oh, cool audio. Wow, let's try that. Off. Compare. And then repair. I want to be able to play it because I want us to look through, I want us to listen to it all together now. All together now. Okay. Find my guy here. Why aren't you waking up to me? There, you're on. What? All right, we'll try that. Hey, there we go. That's much better. Okay, so now we go back to here. And we go to here. Hold on. You just have to be smarter than the... There we go. There we go. All right. All right. So, don't get to sing along this time. Let me get this closer to you. I want you to breathe at your breathing spots. And if you don't have that marked on your music, mark it.
We don't have it.
You don't have any?
Yes.
So, when she breathes,
they're on the music that was printed.
mostly they're in the arrangement, the rests and all that kind of stuff. But there might be a couple that aren't there, but I want you to mark them. Because one of the things we do as singers is we tend to blast over ones that are sitting there and we take ones where they're not supposed to be. So let's start right now thinking about our breath scheme. So this time as we go through, pencils at the ready, and if it's a rest, you can just circle it. If it's actually no rest indicated, but she takes a breath, put a slash line there so you know to breathe. And if you think your part is breathing and nobody else is breathing, mark that too. And generally, I try to put all the breaths in the arrangement. But occasionally, I get carried away and forget that you can't go 40 seconds without a breath. So, mark them. Here we go.
In the good old summertime, down by the beautiful deep blue sea, Joe and Jane were always together, said Joe to Jane. I love summer weather, so let's go to that beautiful sea. Follow along, say you're waiting, anything that Joe would suggest to her Jane would always think it was best for her. So he'd get his Ford, he'd holler all aboard. Gee, I want to be down by the sea, by the sea, by the beautiful sea. You and I, oh how happy we'll be when each wave comes rolling and we will rock or swim and the
Surprise.
will run the water over and under and then up for air. High's rich, mine's rich, so now what do we care? I love to be beside your side, beside the sea, beside the seaside, by the sea. I love it in the good old summertime, summertime in the good old summertime, yeah. Strolling down the sandy shore with your baby mine. Hold his hand, he holds yours, and that's a very good sign. He will be your ever loving in the good old summertime. 'Cause when each wave comes rolling and we will dive or swim, we'll float around the water over, under, then up for air. High's rich, rich, so why do we care? I love to be beside your side, beside the sea, beside
There's
the
a long one.
seaside, by the sea, in the good old summer. I need a lot of money if I got my honey by the sea. Now's the time. Summertime.
Okay, it's fun to listen to, isn't it? And at the beginning, audience will go, oh yeah, I know this song. I go, oh, I've heard this song. Whatever, you know. By the end, they're gonna be going, that was fun, that was really cool. It kind of is one of those earworms, gets in your head a little bit, and you're like, yeah, it's hard to stop singing it. I want to listen to it like 40 times in a row every time I put it on. So it was fun for me to go listen to it. So there's a couple of places where there's some long runs, right? What is your best bet when you have a long run?
Take a breath.
Find a personal breath space. Make sure that your section doesn't all take it at the same place, right? So baritones, you can't all take a breath at the same spot in a personal breath spot, and try not to take it right in the middle. Because generally, if you have like that last one that we were looking at on the bottom of page 5, I love to be beside your side, behind the sea, beside the seaside, by the sea. That's a pretty long one. If everybody breathes like right in 126, then you're going to hear it. So try to, you might go, I love to be beside the sea, beside the seaside. You might breathe early when you don't need to. And then somebody else in your section can breathe later. So, and obviously the breaths are going to be leave a note out. Leave a note out. Don't try to breathe between notes, because you can't. You can't stay in sync and breathe between notes on an uptune like this. A ballad maybe, if you don't put on the ending consonant or something like that. But in an uptune like this, you just got to leave a note or two out. Mark Hale always says you can win a gold medal by singing 85% of the notes. Everybody sings 85%, but it's just a different 85%. But that's when you have 100 guys. Makes it a little easier that way. All right, this time, I want us to go through and speak it and take your breaths. No notes, just speaking. And that'll probably go off at some point. In the good old summertime. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2.
In the good old summertime.
Breath.
Down by the beautiful deep blue sea.
Breath.
Joe and Jane were always together, said Joe to Jane. I love summer weather, so let's go to that beautiful sea.
Let's go to that beautiful sea. Please make sure we all say that instead of the. And There's a couple of words we're going to watch out for. So let's go to, let's go, so let's go to, so let's go to that beautiful sea, and let's go to that beautiful sea. Anything that ends in a T, it's easy to close off the resonators. So be really careful on, so let's go to that beautiful sea, follow along. That's an easy one. Follow along, you can sing that smooth every day of the week. But the let's go to that beautiful sea, much harder. Speak it from the beginning again. Here we go. 1, 2. In the good old summertime. Breath. Down by the beautiful deep blue sea. Breath.
Joe and Jane were always together, said Joe to Jane. I love summer weather, so let's go to
Good.
that beautiful
Breath.
sea. Follow along, say you're with me.
Great. Now triplets. There's a couple in here. 3 against 2 triplets. You're generally going to want to sing them too fast. And you just did. Follow along, say you're with me. Now it's too fast. Follow along, say you're with me. Tee-ta, 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 tee-ta. It's ridiculously slow for what your brain wants to do. And over the years, I've just trained myself to sing it about 50% slower than I think it should be, and it works out perfect. And the other thing to do when you do a 3 against 2 triplet is to sing it smooth. So not say you're with me, say you're with me. So that you just really put a lot of flow behind that, okay? Here we go, one more time, in the good old. And I hear some people going, in the good old summertime, and stopping. There's a move there. In the good old summertime, down by the butte. Baritone and bass have a move, so let's give them the space to do that, okay? Here we go, speaking. 1, 2. In the good old summertime, down by the beautiful deep blue sea, Joe and Jane were always together, said Joe to Jane. I love summer weather, so let's go to that beautiful breath. Follow along, say you're with me. Anything that Joe would suggest to her, Jane would always think it was best for her. So he'd get his forward, he'd holler all the breath. Gee, I want to be by the sea, by the sea, by the beautiful breeze. You and I, oh how happy we'll be. When each wave comes rolling in, we will duck or swim and we'll float and fool all over and under and then for mine's rich, so now what do we care? My bases. What do we care? Bum 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 my. What do we care? Bum 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 my. Say that, basses. What do we care? Bum 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 my. And those quarter notes have to be a little bit more. They have to be a little bit more particular. It's easy to go float and fool around the water, and it kind of has no definition, if you know what I mean. If you go float and fool around the water, oh, we don't really get much effect out here. But if you go float and fool around the water, over and under and then forever, tee 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 tee. See those quarter notes in cut time are really like eighth notes, and we have to make those just really articulated as much as we can. There's going to be some sort of choreography move at the top of page 3. We will duck or swim. I'm guessing. I'm not Teresa, but I'm guessing there's going to be on that. Speaking of which, she's in Canada right now. So, and the good news is she had her visa application meeting on Friday, and she is getting her green card. So, yeah, that's good news. So she's going to be soon a permanent resident of the good old US of A. So that'll be pretty fun. Probably more fun for me than you. But it will be fun for you too, because she plans on putting together a visual package for this. And she intended to be here until they scheduled the meeting for this last Friday. She would have been here tonight to help us put a basic plan together. But anyway, on duck or swim, pretty sure there's going to be something. Let's start at G, I want to be, middle of page 2, measure, there's a lot of them, 37. Here we go, G, I want to be. 1, 2, 3. G, I want to be down by the sea. Now great, baritone and tenor. G, I want to be by the sea, right? Be by the sea. So crescendo through that hold right there. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. G, I want to be down by the sea, by the sea, by the beautiful breeze. You and I, oh how happy we'll breathe. When each wave comes rolling in, we will duck or swim and we'll float and fool all over and under and then for air. Pa's rich, so now what do we care? I love to be beside your side, beside the seaside, by the beautiful sea. I love it in the good. All right, great. So, word errors. Some of you had some. Pa is rich, ma is rich, so now what do we care? How many of you never heard this song before? Anybody never heard this song before? 1, 2. This is like one of those songs where you go, by the sea, by the sea, by the beautiful sea.
And that's all you know, that's all you know.
That's what everybody knows the first part, right? So you kind of know where this song is headed, right? And when, in the good old summertime, everybody knows that song, right? I believe most everybody knows that song. In the good old summertime. So we know some of the basics of these. But we want to make sure that we articulate those words really cleanly for the audience. So if you have something like in the middle of page 2, G, I want to be down by the sea. So lead and bass, very clever, the arranger putting the bass and lead going down when they sing the word down. Isn't that cute? But if you see something like that in an arrangement, doesn't matter who did it, you should say, oh, that's cool. I want the audience to hear that. So when you find a cool thing in your part, make sure that you articulate it and let the audience hear the fun. Let them have the same fun that you're having. That's what makes this hobby great, is we get to share the cool stuff with our audiences. Let's start that same place. G, I want to be. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. G, I want to be down by the sea, by the beautiful breath. You and I, oh how happy we'll be. When each wave comes rolling in, we will duck or swim and we'll float around the water, over and under and then up for breathe. Pa's rich, so now what do we care? I love to be beside your side, beside the seaside, by the beautiful sea. I love it in the good old summertime, in the good old summertime, yeah. Great, that might be one where you want to write at the bottom of the page the word yeah. So you remind yourself that we're not done with that phrase yet. The arranger decided to put in a little fun, unexpected thing. Because the audience thinks you're going to, in the good old summertime, strolling. And we get to put in that little yeah thing, which is fun, right? Again, another fun thing. Let's let the audience enjoy it with us. Notice in measure 76, bottom of 3. In the good old summertime, in the good. So that thing in 76 is a jump beat. Anytime you see quarter, half, quarter, it's going to come on an off beat. It's not going to come click, 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 click. It's going to come dee-ta, right? So we want to make sure that those come out, because in general, this song is pretty metronomic. Da dee 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 da 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 in the good old summertime in the good old summer. So every now and then we get a little bit of rhythmic fun, and that's what we want to make sure that we let the audience enjoy those. So let's start at the pickup to good old summertime. I love it in the good old. Bottom of page 3, measure 72. Here we go, speaking. It'll be 1, 2,